In this video you're going to see me try and repair a Mercedes SLC rear quarter panel and save it from the body shop. Here it is. I'm Sadler from Dent-Remover and welcome along to another paintless dent removal video. This time I'm also accompanied by Tom Lustard from PDR Online. He's the chap behind the camera, filming it as I go along, offering me a bit of encouragement and is really good at making coffees. So let's go and have a look at the damage in a bit more detail. I'm going to explain the damage in a bit more detail. So let's look at the main factors for estimating this repair. So what we need to do first is measure it, and horizontally or side to side it's 730mm. Top to bottom it's 240mm. It's a steel panel, it's a very deep dent, and there is 4 main crowned areas. The first crowned area is towards the rear of the panel, just above the light. The second one is towards the front of the panel where the door is. The third one is at the bottom where the wheel is, and the fourth one is at the top, which is also above a factory body line. Luckily this hasn't really been affected, it's just rolled the top a little bit, so it does need a little bit of attention. Accessing the damage from inside, well, I've already had a look already and there's no access by removing that tail light. There's no holes there, there's no access that way. Also, lifting up the tailgate, there's a trim that runs along the top here. There's no access there. Sometimes on other vehicles there is little holes there which can be used to gain access. But there is good news because there is good access elsewhere. Firstly, from underneath the wheel arch area. On this Mercedes there's 2 large grommets which I can get in, and I can use those with the hula hoop. Another good point of access, which you don't get on many cars but you do on Mercedes SLCs and SLKs, is in the door shut. By simply unclipping the rubber trim reveals 3 or 4 nice holes. Okay, so I've explained all the different areas of this damage, and I've also looked at the access areas, good and bad. So what kind of repair methods am I going to be using to repair this damage, obviously without painting it? So first of all, I'm going to be using the glue pull repair, or GPR. Basically I'm going to be using hot glue to pull this damage out and reduce it. Once it's reduced, I'm going to be using PDR, Paintless Dent Removal, using bars and tools to carefully tweak out the damage and get it looking as best as possible. And finally, plan of attack. What is going through my head looking at this damage? How am I going to start this repair? Well, the deepest part is highlighted in green, so I'm looking to pull around this area. I can either go just underneath the body line, hopefully the rest of it will pop out, so to speak, or I can go slightly above the deepest part, which is a bit lower down, and hopefully again the majority will flow out once I start pulling. But if you're looking at this damage and you think you would repair it differently, please let me know and we can talk about it in the comments below. For the first pull, I'm going to be placing the tabs right underneath the body line, using these 3 long plastic tabs with the strong hooks. Also, I'm using the Pro Elite lightweight puller, and then in the centre of the pull, I'm going to be using my pulling tower. Okay, can you see that? Before I get started with glue pulling, I need to make sure that this panel is clean from any kind of polishers and waxers. So I'm using a 99% isopropanol spray and also a brand new cloth. Make sure that that panel is nice and clean and degreased, and also giving the tabs a quick spray just to get rid of any residues which may stop the tabs from sticking. So I'm just going to pop all the glue on there, like that. Right then, top or bottom? We'll go on the top, go on, then let's go on the top. So we've just got to stick it to the panel
And just keep the tab onto the panel just for a couple of seconds so it doesn't release and put little air bubbles between the tab and the panel. There we go. That's number 2. Again, lots of glue on there, plenty of glue. Like I said, get your fingers in there, push it in, make sure it sticks well. Put these bars that are going to help me pull the tab, pull the damage out. I'm going to stick these through like that, feed them all the way through. I'm going to set this up on the middle tab, sorry, and then the bridge puller. So this bridge puller is lightweight. Obviously I'm using it with one hand. I have set up a secondary puller. I'm going to hook it on like that into the centre of both tabs. And then using my drill, just going to take the slack up. Just get it in the centre of that one. Right, I'm happy with that now. Okay, here we go. So if you just want to get the camera in there a little bit, yeah, can you see that? So that is all. There's tension under, it's under tension now. Just going to jack that a little bit more. Whiz this up a little bit more. Right then, so I'm just going to release that now. Get rid of that. Pulled it quite a bit, didn't it? pulled the car over quite a bit. Right, so that's not going to pull much more on there. So what I'm going to do now is get rid of all this and stick it underneath, and that should pull more out. Like I say, there's no script to this. There's no right way and wrong way of doing it. You just got to try it. It's trial and error. That's not working for me, so I'm going to change tactics. Okay, so we saw that the first pull, although it did pull a little bit out, it didn't go how I wanted it to. So I've restuck the tabs on lower down now, and I'm just going to set up this pulling bridge. Just going to hook both those under. Now just take up the slack. Just move that foot over a little bit. You can see how the feet are going to the contour of the panel. That's important because if it doesn't go to the contour, then you're likely to put more little dents in as I put the pressure onto the damage. Okay, so here we go. Round 2, action. if you just want to have a look under there as well, because I've got the light on there, and just see how this reacts. First one, and then we'll just whiz this one up. And just hook those on like that. Okay, right, let's pull the centre of this damage out then. Right, that needs a bit more on this one, on the left hand side. It's popped out. Hey, look at that. Nice one. So, well, it's gone how I wanted it to go. A majority of this has been pulled out. It has slightly over pulled it a little bit. I could do with a bit more of a pull on there. But yeah, looking good. Everything is still under a lot of tension. I've just got to go careful around here because I don't want it to pop off and hit me in the head. Might knock some sense into me, but you know. So I'm going to stick the flat tab, the camauto flat tab, onto the bottommost part of this dent, which runs down here, and then there's another one there. So this should come out pretty well because the panel is under tension already, so that is going to help the damage come out. That's one on there. I'm just going to get another one. I'm going to use a slightly smaller one for the other dent. There you go. You want to put enough glue on there so that when you do stick it onto the panel, there's a slight bead that just goes around the edge of the tab. Okay, here we go. So that is popping in a little bit, so there is some tension still there. So with the panel hammer. So this here, that's a crowned area, so there is a bit of tension in there, and what a crowned area means is the panel is slightly high. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the panel wipe on there and just remove all of this. And let's see how we've done.
Just before we analyse this repair, if you are enjoying this video so far, make sure you tip that subscribe button and don't forget the notification bell. Then you won't miss any of my future videos.
Okay, so after that large pull, I've wiped all the glue off and I've inspected it with the inspection board and the fog board just to see where the lowest areas are and what needs repairing next. So there is 3 main areas. We've got a creased area here, here and here. This is the deepest part of the damage now. So I need to use some crease tabs to pull the damage out. Once I've got tension on this one, there's a crown here, so I need to tap that bit down. Once I've got tension on this, I'm going to tap this crown down and also just address this one as well. But I mean, this isn't too much of an issue unless this doesn't want to stay out. If this keeps popping in and out, then just tap that bit down. But yeah, I'm happy with that. Wipe this all off, stick these glue tabs on and see how it goes.
The tabs that I'm using here are the CanAuto 3D tabs and they have bendable side wings. Also I'm using the CanAuto hot glue. This is the strongest PDR glue on the market at this moment in time.
Yeah, brought the body line down a bit, doesn't it? I'm going to stick it there. Choices. So with these tabs, you can actually use them in a body shop. So if you've got a miracle puller where you weld these tabs on, you know, so you take the paintwork off and you weld these tabs on, that is exactly the same ring hook as the blue ones. So you don't need to take the paintwork off the vehicle. You can just stick these directly onto the damage and it just saves you all the hassle of well, you know, getting it ready, taking the paintwork off in the first place. But once you get used to actually doing this method of repair, you might get to a point where you don't have to take the paintwork off and you can repair the dent paintlessly. Is that going to work? Yeah. So we'll do this one first because it's properly set. I'm just going to adjust the puller. There, just lift this one, pull this one onto the edge, onto the door edge, because that is the strongest part of the panel. Take the slack up. You can even do it by hand anyway. It's not hard at all to lift this damage out just by using the pull. There, see that there? That's just come out nicely. Wow, that's come out real well, that. You just want to run the camera through there, if you can. I mean, that crown's worth knocking down now. You see it, look, all that there? It's come out really well. So I am going to take the opportunity to knock this crown down while it's under tension. Okay. a lot of tension in there. The crowned area is quite tough actually, so it's just trial and error anyway. I've got it quite close to the crown. I'm going to pull it with a slide hammer, see how it reacts, and carry on. It's a lot better. Just sort that crown out a little bit. Just trying different spots every time. So I was in the middle first, then I went to the end, and now I'm going to the top. There's certainly some locked-in tension around there somewhere, because that is strong as hell. So what is holding that in?
The crown above it, isn't it? So a low spot on the bottom now.
There. Yeah, and a bit there, yeah. Let's try down here. Oh no. It could be, yeah.
Still got a bit crown on the back of it, haven't you? Part of the bin.
Yep. Wow, that is absolutely solid. There we go, it's starting to come out now. Good job Tom Lustard is here, giving me a hand today. Go back just between that first crowned bit and the bit that I've pulled out. And meantime I shall smack this very strong crown down. Ooh, you can hear that. So that's just popped in, so it just shows you, doesn't it? Get rid of that. And the glue that I'm using here is, I think it's Ninja Dent Medic, I think. It's a dark green one, which is really good. It peels off very nicely. Okay. It probably looks totally disgusting on camera, but I'm happy with the progress. So I can put a gangrene tab on there, just in that area there. Got all that to tackle yet. A few more pulls on here, and then I'll just change direction and start working from this this far edge in. Tap down a few of those crowns. You can just hear how strong it is in this area compared to somewhere like this. Okay, right, I'm going to move, change directions and do this area.
Now this damage does look horrendous and it looks like there's no light at the end of a tunnel, but I can see that light. But first I've got to pull this area out.
So switching sides, I can see the damage from a different angle. I'm carrying on glue pulling it. There's a few areas here that just need to be smoothed out, and then feeling it with my hand, it is getting there. I opened the door as well because I like to get my arm in there when I'm looking down, and I realised that there is another point of access. So we've got a trim here. Okay, you pull this off, and we've got these lovely holes, and these holes I can get to the full quarter panel from the inside. So just using a bar like this, some Dents layer bar. So I've got a few ripples up here, go straight through this hole like that. So the hole is, look at that. So I can reach that bit, and again I can go all the way through. The other points of access that I have got, I've got the grommet under there, so I can get the hula hoop in there, and I can reach from about here to here. And again, there's one a little bit further backwards, so I can reach the full quarter panel with the bars as well. But I'm still going to carry on with the glue for now. So now that I've got access with the bar, I'm making great progress. Just fine tuning this area here, so about 6 or 7 inches worth. It's all nice and laid really well. There's still quite a lot of work that I need to do with it, and you know, fine tune it and take out those micro lows. But for now, it's going great. Just working my way to the middle. It's a bit pickly around there. The bar can't reach that far, but I can use the hula hoop. But it's looking nice. So we are winning at the moment. So I've just got the other bar in. Got a Ultra Dent Tools double screw tip bar. So I'm going straight through the grommet, which is there, and just smoothing out all that damage. So just going through that grommet. There you go, can you see it up there? Got plenty of leverage there, got plenty of space. Getting there, isn't it, mate? The shape is there now. It's all there. Just needs those little ripples sorting out. I've been going over the bulk of the damage with a really fine tipped bar, just taking out all those micro lows, just trying to get it as smooth as I can. But what I need to do now is I just need to pay attention to this far left edge here. It's still a little bit in, so I need to go through this hole here with the bark and get right on it. I just need to warm it up though because it's quite near the body line, and just tweak it out, and it's coming on really well, so I'm not far off now, and I think I've saved the panel from any kind of paint work. Right, I'm back onto the rear part of this panel. The crown that was here, originally I thought it was you know, going to be pretty simple to just knock down, but there's so much strength in the back of this panel. It's quite unbelievable really. So this is taking me a little bit of time to get right, but there's a few waves there, look, you can see that. But you know, I've got these tabs on here, and it is coming out, so just keep plugging away at that. So I'm still tapping and tapping and tapping, going from each direction, just cross-checking and just trying to lay down this panel as smooth as possible. I am using a couple of very, very sharp knockdowns, but not plastic or nylon tipped like this one. So these are just polished steel tips. I'm using a VIP one there, and I'm using a very, very sharp one. Alan Wilson gave me that one, thank you very much. It comes in very useful. And basically what I'm using these for is for those very, very micro highs, literally just tapping in between each bit of orange peel really, which gives it will sit a lot flatter. I'll just show you. It might look a little bit wiggly or rough, I don't know, but take that away and it looks totally different. Even now, if you just run your hand over it, it's very smooth. All the shapes there, so we've got this kind of arch shape to it. It goes concave here, which is how it's meant to, and it's convex, so it's like an outward shape now, which is totally opposite to what it was about 6 hours ago. And for the low areas, I am using my hula hoop with a gator V-tip on the end. These are all really common tools that I use in a lot of my videos. I always use the same kind of tools. Very good, it's super sharp, and I can just be very, very accurate with my pushers. So I'm working around here, just sliding the hula hoop in like that, using the grommet hole as leverage. It's giving me some very nice direct, well, precise pushers.
Well, that certainly tested us, but the end results are amazing. Ultimately saving this vehicle from any kind of paintwork, which is what our customer didn't want. And when they picked it up, they were super happy with the results themselves. So if you did enjoy this video, it'd be great to get a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do, because it really does help my channel grow. A big thanks to Tom Lustard. He made the trip all the way from Devon to help me film this. A lot of encouragement, a lot of help. He's really good at making coffees as well, and he is a super cameraman, an all-out awesome guy. He also offers PDR training online. His website is learnpdronline.com. If you want to get into PDR, make sure you check it out, and the links are in the description below. Finally, a massive shout out to CanAuto Pro. This kit is amazing, so simple to use, whether you're a PDR technician or if you're in the body shop, if you're a panel technician, you need this gear. The glue is the strongest on the market. The tabs, absolutely bomb-proof. And that Pro Elite puller, something else. That made light work of that repair. Links below in the description of where to buy any of these CanAuto products. We have a UK-based online shop, and that is canautopro.uk.co.uk. It should be open by now, but if it isn't, it will be open in the next couple of days. That is it for me. Thank you for watching, and cheers!